Good evening. All right. What year is it? Oh, good. 2000. Phantom Menace on VHS. Jar Jar Binks, y'all.
Jar Jar Binks.
Phone simulation. Phone simulation. Phone simulation. 2000. Hit, hit, hit. Sing it with me. Let me hear. Phone simulation. Phone simulation. Phone simulation. 2000. All right. All right. Not bad. Give it up for your host, Mark Hornback, the Well Hung Daddy.
Hey everybody! Welcome to Summer Camp Simulation 2000. That's what's happening here. I'm your counselor. We got a lot of good performers that are performing their end of camp comedy routines that they've been working on. I've been writing with them. This is going to be very excellent. I'm going to start out with your number one camper who won the hosting spot for this. Please welcome the very bearded camper. Where is he at? There, Pratik Srivastava.
Oh, hey everybody, what's going on? Look at this. Hey, I never wear orange. Give it up for me wearing orange for once. Look at this. I look like, you know what I look like? You know what I look like, Mark?
What?
I look like the camp counselor at a South Asian summer camp, but then the camp left and didn't tell him, and then I had to survive at the Samosa Jamboree. And I've been surviving on that for 10 years because they just stopped doing the camp after 1 year because South Asians don't support each other. And so the thing just died. That's what I look like. Give it up for that, you guys.
Yeah.
I look like that description. That takes too long. That's fine.
The food's better at that camp, though. That's what I'll say.
It's pretty good. Also, real quick, you guys don't know this. Mark is the most Indian, like, white dude ever. This guy works in IT. This guy likes spicy food, and his significant other works for University of Chicago. That's the most brownest thing you could do ever. Oh my God. Also, he knows Kim Thale from Soundgarden's dad. This guy's awesome. Give it up for Mark Hornbeck, you guys. I'm just praising him because he's giving me a lot of money. I'm literally streaming this set on a work laptop from a job that you gave me. Give it up for that, you guys. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Pratik, you want to know the most Indian thing about me right now?
What is it?
This is 5 pounds of paneer I bought.
Holy shit.
I'm not kidding. This is 5 pounds of paneer I bought at a restaurant supply store, and it's in my freezer. So that's a lot of paneer for a white guy. That's all I'm gonna say.
A lot of paneer, as the offspring once said. I'm gonna finish this. As the offspring once said, pretty paneer for a white guy. Yeah, give it up for that. Oh. There was a weak dismount, but we finished it. We Carrie struck that joke where there was an injury in the middle of the joke, but we hobbled together, we limped, and we got it home, and it's okay. I used to look like this. Give it up for this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that Lego hair, you guys. Look at that. That Lego. Look at that young Rod Blagojevich. Look at that, you guys. Look at that. That is before 10 years of chicken tenders and PBR. That's what that is. That's what that is. I used to eat my dinner at the gas station all the time. That's the sad thing about this is that I've become healthy this year. I've actually not had a drink since New Year's Day.
What?
I've stopped eating meat. I haven't had fast food in like 5 months, and all it took was me not performing in front of live crowds. Look at that. That's all it takes, you guys. That's the new diet plan. Look out, Deepak Chopra. I'm going to take you down with my fucking diet. It's called Don't Follow Your Dreams because you're worried about respiratory issues in your family. The diet, the movie, the ride. Hell yeah. Oh my God. Why do I have an interrogation light? I'm just worried about like the coloring of my face. So I'm like, give myself the interrogation. Like this is 24. This is Homeland. And then this is something else. Like, what the hell are we doing here? This is oh my God. All right. We're doing 4 minutes and 30 seconds. 4:30,
yeah.
bro. We're doing 4:30.
Yeah, 4:30, dude.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I vape Gogurt. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm a fucking champion up here. That's a new show, by the way, on Netflix. Comedians in cars, butt fucking each other and vaping Gogurt. It's a great show. You
Whoa.
love that show.
Whoa.
Love that show. It's so great. I love the whoa, by the way. That was a good whoa. I think it's important to recognize that there are a lot of shows out there pertaining to stand-up, and when your non-stand-up friends find out about it, they like to ask you about it because you do the thing where you hold the microphone and that's the show about the thing that you do. So why don't you talk about that? I mean, we're not actually going to support your dreams and come see you live, but talk about that thing. And it's like, I don't want to talk about those shows. I don't really care about I'm dying up here on Showtime. I don't really care about that. In the same way, I wouldn't go up to Chicago police officer and go, hey, police officer, I know you're too busy planting drugs in this person of color right now, but what do you think about that last episode of Law and Order? That was a good show, wasn't it, officer? Why are you injuring that person right now? Why don't you look at me? Eyes up here, officer. Why are you down there with your knee on his neck? Like, come up here and look at me. Why are you doing that, officer? What about Chicago PD? That was a good show. Look at that cliffhanger. It was pretty good. They talked about the White Sox and the Cubs, and they mentioned Wacker Drive real quick. It was pretty good, right? Oh, you're walking away, officer? All right, I'm going to go over here now. Fine. That's it. Yeah, because I don't want to talk to that officer. He's kind of weird. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over to my mom's doctor, Dr. Stevens, and I'm going to talk to him about Grey's Anatomy. I'm going to be like, hey, Dr. Stevens, I know you're too busy prescribing my mother heart medication that she doesn't need right now because she's got vertigo, and you just think that you're just some dumb fucking doctor, even though you went to the Caribbean to get your degree because you're like the Pirates of the Caribbean, except you kill more people than the Pirates of the Caribbean because you got your degree from the Caribbean, and you're prescribing people medication they don't need. And you know why you're doing that, Dr. Stevens? Because Hunter, the pharmaceutical representative that visits your office and bribes your office every fucking day and then invites you back to his rented pool balcony to sip White Claws on the weekend, not wear a mask, and listen to the Miley Cyrus version of Old Town Road, because the real version of Old Town Road is quote unquote too ethnic for Hunter. So fuck you, Dr. Stevens. But Grey's Anatomy is a pretty good show, right? Ellen Pompeo deserves to be now. Am I right? I'm losing my breath on this shit. Oh, real quick, we also got so for those of you that looked at our Facebook promo today, which is no one here, we said that in honor of these impulsive presidential campaigns that have started, we are going to do our fastest minute in comedy, but today and today only. And I didn't even clear this with Mark, so look at me trying to stage a coup. But we're going to call it the fastest minute in tampering the Electoral College. Give it up for topicality, you guys. Hell yeah. Fuck the Electoral College. Am I right? Like, it means nothing. Like, I still remember, like, when Bernie lost the election this year, people were like, man, I'm mad. I'm going to move to Canada. This is my dipshit friend who wants to open up an incense candle store, which, you know what I call incense candles? I call them Hinduism threes. That's what they are. That's what they fucking are.
I'd like to point out that friend was not me, even though
I have more than one white friend who knows Kim Thale's dad from Soundgarden. So this one friend, he's like, I'm going to move to Canada. And I'm like, oh, you're going to move to Canada? Because, like, if you're mad about election results and you want to move, don't move to Canada. Move to a swing state so your vote fucking counts next time. How about that? How about that?
Hey.
How about that for the people in the back? How about that? And that joke works about as well as the actual Electoral College in this country. Boom, shakalaka. Hell yeah. This isn't water. This is absinthe. I'm drinking absinthe mixed with asbestos from Patsy's Bar and Grill in Chicago, Illinois. That's a deep cut reference. Holy shit. All right. Now that I have pissed off a bar that isn't even open anymore, I am now going to get this mic going. So are you ready for your next comedian coming to the stage? Are you ready to chugga? Let's get in our comedy DeLorean and go back to the future, you guys. Coming up next, she's great. I've known her a long time. Give it up for Laura Hug, you guys.
Thank you so much, Pratik. I was thinking when you said you had interrogation light, I have hostage lighting tonight. I feel like I'm getting ready to assure my family that things are okay. And then they're like, oh, well, then we'll take our time getting the money together. So my church is, I go to a non-denominational Christian church, but it's very inclusive and LGBTQ friendly. And I like to say that right up top so that I don't get attacked for my beliefs by all my open-minded friends. And my church, it's funny, I never went to a church before I started going to this one. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want gays in their church, because at my church, the lesbians are the only ones who wear neckties. Even the pastor wears a hoodie, but it's easier for her to breastfeed through her entire sermon that way. So we had an anti-racism caucus at our church where they paired off all the members, congregants of color in one room and all the white people in another room. And I was like, well, so far so good, way to ease us in comfortably. I don't know what they discussed, the people of color, but it was true. Our discussion did devolve in ways to ruin potato salad. All right, that's very hack. I know it's a big joke. Like black people, white people have a reputation for ruining potato salad amongst black people, and that is total bullshit. We do not put raisins in potato salad. I put in cranberries, okay, and chocolate chips on special occasions. But anyway, so I do like my church. I do believe in God. I don't know exactly what I think God is, but here's what I hope God is not. I don't like the concept of God as the Father. And it's not because I have a problem with God being male. I just didn't want to go into the afterlife living with another single parent. I had hoped heaven would hold more for me than me cooking myself a lot of toast. I guess I believe in Jesus. That's what my church does. I'm fine with it. I know sometimes amongst my younger peers in comedy, it's a little bit what I like to call dropping the J-bomb, but it's good. I don't know. I'll bat for any team that's like I don't know why I'm justifying. Let me just move on. All right, I'm going to move on. I'm moving on now. I recently took a lift to work. I went back into the office after the quarantine last month, and I took a lift. The first lift I took, I felt very comfortable. I wore a mask. She wore a mask. And she had a huge sheet of clear plastic stapled between the front seat and the back seat. I felt very safe, and also like I was riding to work in a currency exchange. It was great. At the end of the ride, I tipped her. I gave her 5 stars. I also got a money order and a roll of quarters for my laundry machine, which we also call a washing machine. Thank you. I've been thinking about learning how to ride a skateboard. But I'm middle-aged now, so I'm a little nervous about doing it, not because of the fear of falling and breaking my collarbone and then having to go to the ER and then contracting COVID-19 and dying that way, more so that I'd be good at it. And then somebody would catch me on film and it would go viral, and there would be a caption that would be like, this granny really shreds, or this granny, look at her, she's the cat lady of Dogtown. I don't want that. So I got that tagline at a workshop. I think I'm allowed to I'm not really clear how workshops work. I hope I can. They gave me a lot of great stuff. I'd love to put it in my act. I'll have to get written waivers. All right. Well, it's great to be here. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, Laura.
Hey, Laura, glad to hear it, you guys. That was awesome, and that's what you gotta do. Sometimes the joke doesn't work. You gotta move on.org. That's important. Hell yeah, I've done that so much in my life. Sometimes I have to do that. Like I had to do a show once where I was opening up for a metal band that only played in sync cover songs because my career is on goddamn flyer, you guys. They paid me in popcorn chicken and a bounce check. You know what the hell I'm talking about. Awesome. Yeah. I'm doing the show, right? And the lead singer looks like Sam Donaldson from ABC News. He's got them big ass eyebrows, which I know I'm not supposed to comment on people's eyebrows, which whatever, but he had hairy fucking eyebrows. And he was a white dude, which defies all hairy logic or whatever. He must have some Greek in him or something. He must be a product of colonization. Because who isn't a product of colonization? Am I right? Happy 4th of July. We know what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh yeah. You know what I did for 4th of July last year, or last year? I did that joke last year, but I'm doing it as if this happened yesterday. You know what I did yesterday, quote unquote, last year when I'm telling this joke? You know what I did last year, aka yesterday? You know what I did? 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 I ate Indian food on 4th of July, just like what the British troops did up until 1955. Hell yeah. Imperialism is a terrible thing. They didn't find the Kohinoor diamonds. They stole them. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to England. I'm going to take them back. That's going to be the next Ocean's 13 and a half movie. We're going to greenlit that tomorrow, and we're going to greenlit that from a progressive studio. None of that Miramax bullshit. Get that shit out of here. We're going to go over to some weirdo studio like Point Grey and just greenlit the shit out of it through there. They're probably going to use like weird oil money or something, but we're going to greenlight that movie and it's going to be cool. And then we're going to get a guest director for that movie. We're going to have somebody guest direct that one scene. You know, we're going to get the guest direct that one scene. Your next performer coming to the stage. This guy's got a cool name. He probably co-owns his whole brand of cigarettes. Give it up for Winston Hodges, you guys.
Hey, cool. Hey, thanks for having me. Let's just talk a little bit. I don't know. I think that we kind of have like I don't want to say a gun problem, but we got like a gun situation in this country. Mainly because like we're the only country in the world where there's been a shooting in a Waffle House. Like we're the only country that's ever had that. So I think that really puts us at the top as far as shootings go. There was a shooting in a Waffle House. It happened at 3:30 in the morning. The gunman was completely naked. And it happened in Nashville, Tennessee. Because apparently Florida was closed that day. They weren't open for business. It is very much a Florida news story if I've ever heard one. And I don't know if you've ever been to a Waffle House, but like 3:30 in the morning is rush hour at the Waffle House. So like if you're going to do a mass shooting and you want to do maximum damage at a Waffle House, 3:30 is the thing to do, man. Because if not, you're just showing up on a Tuesday at 11 in the morning. You're going to walk in there. The only other person in the Waffle House is going to be the one poor lady working day shift. And she's going to be like, thank God you're here. Fucking shoot me. Actually, if you could do that, I would love it. If you could leave me smothered, covered with a cap in my ass, that would be great. I made $3 in tips today. So that would be wonderful. That's like not even a dude with a gun's not even like the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a Waffle House, man. Naked dude with a gun shows up on a Tuesday. I'm like, shit, Jerry, I thought you came in on Thursdays, man. Holy shit, that's wild. Coming in twice a week now. That's kind of a big deal. The weirdest thing I've ever seen at a Waffle House was late one night after a show in Richmond, Virginia, 4 a.m. There was just a Magic the Gathering trading card tournament happening in the Waffle House. And I was just like, where is the active shooters when you need them? Oh my God. And then I remembered all the active shooters were just currently playing Magic the Gathering. So they needed to take a quick fucking break. That story has like a good ending though, man. Like that shooting in Nashville, there was like a 27-year-old man there who, due to his initiative and drive, 15 people got to leave that Waffle House. Due to his initiative and drive, he wrestled the gun out of that shooter's hands. And due to his initiative and drive, those people got to see their families, which I think is amazing. Because every time I've ever been in a Waffle House at 3:30 in the morning, it is because I lack both of those qualities. Actually, first go-getter in the history of the Waffle House, and he was making shit happen. So good for him. I was sometimes getting like political discussions. Like I I had a friend that, like, when the Kavanaugh Supreme Court thing was going on, was just like, see, this is why I could never be in the Supreme Court. All this Me Too bullshit. And I was like, man, that's why you couldn't be in the Supreme Court? That's crazy. Because I couldn't serve on the Supreme Court because of my lack of education. That's actually the main reason. I have absolutely no fears of an ex or a woman coming to a show and accusing me of sexual assault. I live in fear every day of doing my show, and an ex comes in and is like, hey, how about you tell everybody here how you think the word crayon is pronounced crown? Do you want to do that, Winston? Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Tell everybody. Or how about you tell everybody the first 26 years of your life, you thought everybody just sang happy birthday to Jesus on Christmas. You want to do that? How you thought that was a fun Yuletide treat that everybody was participating in? That's right. I thought that was a fun tradition. Everybody did. I thought everybody just sang happy birthday to Jesus on Christmas until I spent Christmas with my ex. And it was like 7 o'clock at night. And I'm like, when the fuck are we going to sing this song, guys? It's getting kind of late. It's a little rude. And this has more time, but it's 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Thanks, Pratik. Thanks so much, everybody, for having me. Bye.
Give it up for Winston Hodges, you guys. Hells to the yeah. Love me some Waffle Houses. I go to Waffle Houses because that's my idea of an ethnic restaurant. I love it. It's great. I feel like the Jane Goodall of just good old people. It's fucking great. I'm just studying them like a new species. It's fantastic. But with that said, let's keep this comedy hoverboard soaring, you guys. Coming up next, he's a Chicago boy. Give it up for Andrew Shanklin, you guys. Yeah.
Yay!
All right. Hello, folks. I was raised Catholic. Anyone here raised Catholic?
Yeah.
All right. One. Okay. Cool. I was raised Catholic. If you don't know what it's like being raised Catholic, I'll tell you what it's like. Okay. My friends would come over to my house. They go, "Oh, Andrew, that's a cool picture of your grandpa," and I'd go, "No. This is not a picture of my grandpa. This is a framed photograph of Pope John Paul II that my grandma got me for my 11th birthday." And on the back she wrote, "Never have sex," and boy did I listen. All right. Hello. Hi everyone. I've been trying to grow out some facial hair here, and my mom saw me. She said I look like a grizzly bear. I said, "Mom, I'm not gay, and even if I was, I wouldn't be a bear. I'd be a twink." Okay. All right. I feel like I get along well with older lesbians. I feel like I connect well with them because I think we've both been rejected by a lot of women, albeit for very different reasons. You know, I feel like they look at me, they go, "Okay, well, if I could make it through the Reagan years, you can make it through your 20s. You'll be fine." When I was in high school, I had a bad prom date, and my one of my teachers he told me that women are like trains, and I said, "Boy, tell me more." Two things I love: women and trains. All right, he said okay, we don't like that. By my when I was a sophomore in high school, I was a 5'10" and I weighed 120 pounds. 5'10", 120 pounds. That's kind of the perfect height and weight if you are a female professional golfer. That was pretty good for that. I was also in a lifeguarding class at the time, and I was in the middle of class once. I was in my swimsuit, and this gal, she looked me up and down, and I go, "Oh boy, she's checking me out." And then she came over to me. She goes, "Listen, you have a lot of bones. I think you have extra bones." Now it was embarrassing because she knows I can't suck my own penis. Okay. Yeah. It's easy. It's right there. I think grilling is a lot like yoga for dads. I think that's kind of what they got, you know. It's just like a thing they do to get away from it all, right? And like their kid comes out and they go, "When's dinner ready?" And they go, "Get the fuck back in the house." That's their son salutation. Hello. All right. I don't know why everyone is okay with people being sports fans. I don't get it. If you're a sports fan, that's a mental illness to me. Anyone that collects baseball cards, that's not okay. If someone tells you they have a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card in a plastic case, all they're telling you is that if you touch it, their sobriety will be ruined, you know? All right. I get targeted ads. I get weird targeted ads. I'm sure a lot of you do too. Lately, I've been getting targeted ads for a class action lawsuit for Boy Scouts that were sexually abused. I was like, okay, I get why you would think this. I get why, based on my search history, that would be a thing that you would think I need. I was in Boy Scouts. I was in Boy Scouts the whole time, forever, and they told us we learned a lot about how to identify pedophiles. And they told us if someone invites you over to their house to drink or party or to watch porn, that they were probably a pedophile. And then I got to college and I was like, wow, there are a lot of pedophiles here. Let's see. I went to New York for the first time about a year ago. About a year ago, I went to New York for the first time, and the first morning after I was in New York, I woke up and I found out that Jeffrey Epstein had killed himself. And I was like, boy, this is a tough town, huh? If this guy with all his financial wizardry and his connections can't make it, what does that say? What does that say about my chances, huh? Things aren't looking too good for me. That's gonna be it for me. Thank you so much. Very fun stuff.
Yay!
Give it up. Give it the fuck up, you guys. Hell yeah. That sounded weird. I didn't mean to say like give it the fuck up. Like don't quit. I'm just saying yeah, give it great set, Andrew. You're talking about sports fans. Like my dad's not a sports fan. He is a sports fan, but for the purposes of it, he's not a sports fan. He's a news fan, you guys. He watches the news like it's a competition. And he's like trading me all these cards. He's got a Wolf Blitzer rookie card, and he's trying to trade me for a disgraced Brian Williams card. And I'm like, I don't have a Brian Williams card. I do have a Fareed Zakaria card if you want that. Hell yeah. Look at those. Look at them deep cuts, you guys. Call a social worker. I got some deep cuts for you guys. Hell yeah. I'm also on the clock right now. For those that don't know, I have a very unique job. I actually monitor children. This is all real, by the way. This isn't one of them, bits or whatever that gets you on the Jack Parr show. No, this is all real. But I monitor children's social media accounts to prevent them from being cyberbullied. I look up suicidal thoughts by them. I work for this like third-party app, and I saw something today that was kind of weird. It was like a chat log that was ripped by our algorithm, and it was a 10-year-old talking to an 11-year-old, and it was a boy talking to a girl, and this is what he said: "Hey girl, are you a school? Because I want to shoot up inside you." This is what a 10-year-old said. This is a 10-year-old who doesn't even know long division yet, and he's saying things like, "I want to shoot up inside of you." What the fuck is going on? Can we have a talk with our kids? Can somebody call the congressman? Can someone call the president? Can someone call the comptroller and figure out what the hell a comptroller does? But we need our comptrollers to talk to our kids, because that's not cool. That was the comptroller right now. If you didn't hear me, what the fuck is going on with these kids? I'm just happy that I do this fucking job. I think it's great. I think it's a little weird though how I got this job. Because funny enough, I met my boss at this job 5 years ago taking improv comedy classes. Yeah, I know. What the fuck, right? Met my boss taking improv comedy classes, which makes me one of the few people ever to get a job from taking improv comedy classes, you guys. I am a fucking unicorn. You guys are fantastic. We probably got 5 people who have jumped off the Zoom mic. They're like, this guy is fucking nuts. This guy sounds like Gilbert Gottfried in the microwave. We're scaring everybody here. That's pretty good. As long as you're on Twitch, though, we big ups to our Twitch fan base. Stop using racial slurs on Twitch. That's a whole other conversation I'm going to get into. Your next performer coming to the stage. She's a regular here. Give it up for Patty Mansbach, you guys.
Woo! Oh, man. I went to the doctor recently for a checkup, and they had to screen me for all these like coronavirus questions. And they asked me if I recently experienced a lack of taste. Yeah, and then thought about all my recent Tinder matches and went, I was at the doctor because I was getting a new IUD. I've texted everybody on my phone, new IUD, who dis. I don't know why I got a new IUD. I didn't really use the one I had before. It's just, the celibacy virus is real, guys. Just a for sale, birth control, never used. That's my little short story, guys. There we go. I'm gonna give myself some credit. For sale, birth control, gently used. Whoa. You guys ever fantasize about getting your face mold off and then you can get a face transplant and finally be seen as conventionally attractive? Anybody else? Anybody? Not me. Nope, not me. I am beautiful. I look confident and brave when I say that. You guys look like assholes if you disagree. I use the Ouija board to contact people I've killed with my good looks, just like you are pretty, and I go, thanks, dead Brenda. Recently I was at work because like this comedy thing, this is how I pay my bills, but office jobs, those are my real passion. Oh, I miss it so much. I can't wait to and they asked me, like, we had to do like this like personality test. Yeah. And I don't know, I got like an ASMR or something stupid like that. And they were like, oh, another famous ASMR was Thomas Jefferson. I don't think he took that test. I highly doubt he took it. And then they're like, oh, another famous one was Dumbledore. That's not a real person. He definitely did not take this test. I don't know. My jobs are cool. They just like give me money and I buy stuff. It's the best transaction I've ever had in my life. But my favorite job I ever did was when I was in the Peace Corps. And one time I was in a station wagon across the Sahara Desert, and this guy, he put his goat on the roof, and then it started peeing all down the open window and down my arm. Oh, I know. It was like totally disgusting. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that my first golden shower would be the bestiality edition. Whoa. Oh, you thought I was saving the world. No, I was just living my fetish, man. Oh my God. I don't think I'm allowed to have a fetish. I'm way too like uptight for it. But if I did have a fetish, here's what it would be. It would be faking orgasms. Oh my God, I love it so much. It's the only way I get off these days, guys. No, I love it. They look at you so confident and smug and like they're doing a good job, but secretly I know he's a goddamn idiot. Oh, I'm in charge. I'm in control, not you. I've been exercising a lot during this pandemic, but that's only because I'm better than you. But I've gotten so swole. What the kids say, I've gotten so swole. I can do one whole singular push-up now. I know, go me, man.
Yeah.
Woo. It's a shame they canceled the Olympics. They definitely would get the gold medal for the most improved. I feel like that's something that they give. I'm a millennial. I don't get out of bed for less than 10,000 participation trophies a day. When I was a kid, they made me go to group therapy because I tested very high for shyness. I know, look at me, I'm a hero. No, it took me years to realize I'm not shy. I'm just boring. There's a really big difference. Like, I would go to parties and people will offer me ketamine and I say, no, thank you. That's for horses, not for me. Don't want to appropriate their culture. My favorite part of Jello shots is the Jello, and I think virgin Jello shots are a good idea. Yeah, that's all right. I guess I'll leave you my Instagram so you guys can follow me. It's private, and I'm not gonna accept it because I don't know you. But you know what? When we're doing comedy, you should learn what rejection feels like. Thank you, everybody.
Hey. We got some life lessons there. Give it up for Patty Mansbach, everybody. Hell yeah.
Woo! Funny.
Fucking awesome. I don't believe Katie Zane is on right now. Cool. So we're gonna move on to the list. The next three performers. This is basically like an Oreo, and you're gonna see why if you study racial background.
I'm looking at the order, and I appreciate what you just said, Pratik.
Yeah, I could have said it afterwards, but I was gonna say it before. So you anticipate.
Front sell them, baby. Front sell them, Teak.
This comedy triple threat Oreo that we're about to see coming up first. He's a regular of this Mike Entertainment production. Give it up for Yash Punati.
Woo.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Woo-hoo.
Hello. So I don't know if you guys noticed, I finally got that haircut. It's been 6 months since I last had a haircut, and so managed to find one that was open today. And it was a Vietnamese stylist, and I was trying to give him instructions a little over here, and I was like, no, don't worry, I'll make you handsome. I said, that's cool because if you succeed, you will be the first one because God tried and gave up. Okay. That's funny. He did a good job, though, by the way. So last fall, my wife and I, we went to this Indian restaurant. It was highly recommended on Yelp. So we went there and it's their signature dish, some kind of a naan, those Indian flatbread stuffed with hot chili peppers. That's their signature thing and highly recommended. So I said, okay, cool. We'll have one of those. And the waitress, this Indian waitress, takes a look at us, clearly Indian looking people, and he says, no, you can't handle it. It's like, what? No, she said, no, you cannot handle it. And we went back and forth, argued, and we could not convince her that we can handle it. So finally, she recommended other things, and we ordered those, and those were really good. So loved the place. But I couldn't keep quiet, obviously. I mean, I called her over. I said, listen, if we can't have it, we cannot handle it. Why is it even there on the menu? This is what she said. She said, there are these extreme white people who love it and who can handle it. Only they can handle it. Like, wow. Extreme whites. I tell my Indian people, we got to watch out for these extreme whites because you know what? They're coming for our spelling bee trophies and our IT jobs, all right? Got to watch out for them. So by the way, we've come a long way since I came to the country in 1983 because back then the spices ranged from, salt and pepper all the way to ketchup. And now, I mean, everybody routinely uses sriracha sauce. And at our local grocery store, the hot salsa is always out. There's tons of mild and medium ones. Hot ones gone. So things have changed a lot. What else? Oh yeah, this happened to me a few times. So, walking around like in a grocery store, a parking lot, or a mall, and someone says, "Are you Indian?" Like, okay, I gotta be a little careful here because that's a tricky question. The answer depends, right? It depends on, they're looking for tech support issues. Or maybe help, spelling big words, possibly, or yoga positions. It's possible. For all of those, yes, I am Indian. But if you're looking for that fake IRS scam caller who stole your grandma's life savings, not Indian. I am actually Jose from Mexico, all right? Not Jose. So I hate it when people, go with sweeping generalizations. People say, "Hey, you Indians, you're all smart." Actually, I like that one. I like that one. Let's keep that one. That one's fine with me. Okay. But people always say, "Oh, Americans, they're really terrible with world geography. They don't know anything." It's like that's not true. I mean, just the other day, I was walking down the street. I see this guy walking out of a sports bar half a block away. He takes one look at me and screams all the way from there. He says, "Go back to Delhi." Go back to Delhi, he said. I said, wow, I was mind blown because I could have been from any of 20 different countries, right? Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Mexico, Puerto Rico. No, not only did he get the right country, he got the right capital to go with that. That is brilliant, okay? So I actually gave him a thumbs up. I gave him a thumbs up and he had this puzzled look because he probably thought I was using the wrong finger. All right. Just one last thing before I leave. People automatically assume that we Indians are not into sports. That's not true at all. It's just that we like low impact sports like Scrabble, tic-tac-toe, and hangman. Okay, great. Thank you, guys.
Hey, yes, give it up.
Thank you.
Hell fucking yeah. I've been, you might find this surprising to hear, everybody, but I've been told to go to places when I'm walking down the street. Who would have thought, right? Sometimes people tell me, hey, go back to India. And you know what I tell them? I say, hey, I don't think India wants me either. this thing, I go over there. You know what people do in India? They look at me like I'm a bootleg Gucci bag that wasn't made in the original factory. Because guess what? I wasn't made over there. I was made in a dirty apartment in the city of Chicago during a Wheel of Fortune marathon. All right? Yeah. Because Jeopardy was a rerun that day. Also, I would love if some dude named Tanner in a Trapped or I'm gonna get this right, Kevin Callum, in a Trapped or a Mudvayne T-shirt told me to go back to India, and then I just magically teleported back to India because you know how expensive it is to go to India. You know how much process it is. I gotta go over to the consulate's office, and they got some dude, and he's not eating the bread that the extreme whites eat. He's not eating that. He's just eating some smelly shit out of a Tupperware container. I gotta pay him $1,000. Then I gotta buy my tickets. Then I gotta sit on Air India, which is like if you think Spirit Airlines is bad, don't fly Air India, you guys. It is terrible. And I gotta go over there. So you know what? I would love if dipshit extreme whites could tell me to go back to India and I just teleport back to India. That would save me so much time, so much hassle. I would love that shit. So that's just a dream for me. My voice is dying. My voice is hanging on by a thread. My voice is hanging on like Owen Hart hanging on at the
Oh, come
rafter
on.
in
That
the
is
city.
too much.
And that reference was over the edge. All right, your next.
That is
perform-
an over the edge. This action figure says otherwise.
Go! He got one.
Yeah.
All right, give it up for Kevin Callum, you guys. He's already there.
Thanks everybody. Yash,
Yeah.
the first time I ever saw you, Yash, you were very, very funny. It was really fun.
Thank you. Thanks,
All
Kevin.
right, now I will follow it up with my extreme whiteness.
Yeah.
I love that we've used Mountain Dew adjectives to describe people's ignorance. We got some extreme whites. Go do some action sports and question someone's ethnic background. You guys want to go to some snowboarding and tell people to go back to their country? It was extreme. Yeah, so life is kind of confusing. I'm basing all of my life now kind of around streaming platforms, like what I'm streaming, what I'm watching, what I'm on, and all these different things. For example, I got Disney Plus as the new streaming service, and I'm not watching it enough. I got it for maybes. I didn't get it because I was going to watch something. I got it because maybe I'll watch that Avengers movie I haven't seen. That's how you date irresponsibly when you get out of like a long-term relationship. Maybe I'll go date with Barbara. Maybe I'll go out with Kelly. I slept that one time with a Karen. She had Disney Plus. You know what I mean? Like you just start making those mistakes. I didn't watch the whole series, but we made out. Like something like that. Long story short, if I can't commit to watching a single movie on a service I pay $8 for, who or what am I ever going to commit to in general? My girlfriend is like Netflix. She used to talk to Kevin Spacey, but now she doesn't want to talk about him at all. There we go. And Andrew Shaklin wrote that, so if you guys didn't like it, you can blame him for it. I'm teasing. Thank you. Yeah, I'm from a large Catholic family. Any other Catholics here? Clap your hands into your microphone if you're Catholic. No one? Come on, clap those hands. It sounds like sex, so you know it's wrong. Stop it. Being Catholic means you're filled with shame. It's a great tool. Gets people to do a lot of things. Liberals call this canceling people. My mom used it to say that I had too big of an ass. That's what she would say. I had too big of an ass. You got too much ass back there. My mom had 5 kids. She had 4 boys and 1 girl, and she couldn't get an eating disorder into that one girl she had. God damn it! I'm gonna get it into one of these boys. I'm gonna get it into these boys. And her favorite place to shame her children, a very acceptable place to shame anyone, is a department store. So she would bring me to the Kohl's department store and make me try on pants and tell me the pants didn't fit because the body I had was wrong. So she brings me to this place, and it's right after I discovered that I like girls. So I was like 12, and I discovered that I love Gwen Stefani. I saw the music video for "Don't Speak." I know you guys know the rest of the song. Pratik, you know the rest of this one, right? Don't speak. I know just what.
I just know the melody.
I saw that, and I felt like I put my hand in the screen. I knew that Gwen and I were going to be together, and I was 12, and whatever making out was, I was going to do it with Gwen Stefani. It was just a special moment. My mom took me out of this, brought me to the Kohl's, and then fast forward half an hour later, I'm in a changing station, and my mom is yelling at me. The other changing stations with other people trying on Dockers and polo shirts, and she's making me try on pants, and she's yelling at me about the parts of my body that she doesn't like, and I'm all just like, don't speak. I'm just trying to get through it. I'm just trying to get through it. And then I get out of the changing station. I have these ill-fitting pants on, and my mom is staring at me like 12 feet in front of me, and then 5 feet behind her, social distancing before that was even a thing. 5 feet behind her are 3 girls that look like preteen versions of Gwen Stefani. I'm talking they have the white tank top and the tight plaid pants they just got from the Hot Topic, right? And they're right there in the mall, and they are laughing at me behind my mother, who doesn't know that she's there. And she says this: how does it fit in the crotch? How does it fit in the crotch? Does it bunch up on you? Does it bunch up on you? If it bunches up on you, you're going to get a UTI. You are going to get a UTI like your cousin Terry. Now, that's how the way you hear it. Here's the way I hear it. How does it fit in the crotch, Kevin? How does it fit in the crotch? If you touch a girl, you're going to get a sexually transmitted disease. So fast forward 4 years later, I'm hanging out with Kay Barm after the winter mixer outside of Mother McCauley Girls Catholic High School. The windows are getting foggy, and it's all coming from the heat in the back seat. Oh boy, Kevin has swooned a girl, and he's getting her, and her nipples are out. Her nipples are erect. Nipples I have erected with my presence and personality and charm. Oh boy, my sweaty palm is about to touch an erected nipple. What a grand day. And as it's about to go upon a nipple, I just hear, how does it fit in the crotch? If you touch that nipple, you're gonna get a UTI like your cousin Jerry. Try on pants with your mother at the J.C. Penney.
Yeah, Kevin. That was awesome, Kevin. Hey, thanks all the campers that went up so far, and thank you for Pratik. I thought Pratik was a camper. Turns out he was just left behind when the South Asian camp. Sorry, Pratik is actually a counselor. I did not realize that.
I want that to be like a failed pilot. Is just Pratik pitching the series of him being like left at a summer camp to fend for
Left at a
himself.
summer camp.
I would watch that.
Throw
You know
away,
what?
like the circus. That's how camps work.
Just do it all on Zoom. Fake backgrounds. That's all
You
we
know
need.
what we need to do? We need to reboot Heavyweights on Disney Plus, and that's what that is.
Heavyweights is an underrated film.
Pretty reboot of Heavyweights. That's
Heavyweights, underrated film. That is
It
an
is.
underrated film.
But guys, I wanted to. Pratik was talking about drinking absinthe earlier. So I went to New Orleans a few years ago.
Ah!
I bought this absinthe, and it rotted, and the cork rotted and fell into the bottom of it.
Easy.
So I now keep it in a gin. This is marked for gin, but it's this colored. So a lot of times I'll go to make a gin drink, and then I'll smell it, and I'll be like, "Oh, that is not gin." The funny part is, I went to New Orleans to buy it, but I don't know if you could read this. Oh, you can't read it. It's imported from it's from a company in Wilmette, Illinois. Like, so I went all the way to New Orleans to get the authentic absinthe from Wilmette, Illinois.
It's Bill Murray's absent. Actually.
You went all the way to New Orleans to get that absinthe when you could have just got on the way to Six Flags.
Yeah, I could have just stopped on the way to Pita Inn or something. So I'm gonna take a swig. I don't have any sugar. I'm gonna take a swig. I haven't done it in a while.
Oh boy, Monday's gonna be
Yeah.
weird. You just wanted to drink gin to fall down. Now you just drink absinthe to fall down a hole in your brain.
Jesus.
I'll take Malort anytime. I'll take Malort over that anytime. Holy cow!
Ah,
Our next comedian coming up to complete the sandwich. To complete
wheat bread sandwich.
the Kevin Kelm sandwiches. Joshua Coffee.
Yeah,
Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik, baby, love the background.
Oh, thank you so much. Just to let you know, the mic is fake. I'm just using it out of habit. My name is Yashar, and I am from Iran. Thanks for not running away. That joke is meant for comedy clubs because there's nobody here to run away. Old habits. I like these Zoom mics. I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you for sending my regards to the bookers. There are a lot of. I live in Los Angeles. When you go on social media, a lot of comedians they criticize Zoom mics. They say it's not the real thing. We hate Zoom mics. And the problem is I've seen most of them on stage, and they were not funny on stage either. So I'm not sure why all the fuss when you suck. But honored to be at the presence of mostly Chicago comics because I believe you guys have a higher IQ. Okay, that was the segment defecating on the city of Los Angeles. Now I'm going to go back to what I'm planning to do. Winston was talking about Waffle House mass shootings. I personally, this is a very violent joke. It does really well in the gang-infested areas of the city of Los Angeles. So,
Well,
please
doing it in
forgive me if
Chicago
you're
is a good
too-
idea.
Excellent. So I'm in the right place. But if you're too woke, my apologies. You can go fuck yourself. Okay, that's the joke. I don't like mass shootings because anytime there is a mass shooting, it's guaranteed someone very stupid coming to me saying, "Hey man, I'm sure you must have dealt with that back at home, right?" I said, "Dealt with what? Gun violence." So absolutely not. So come on, man. Iran, all of those guns. I've seen it on TV. I said, actually, you haven't seen it on TV. You've seen it on Fox News. That's created for retarded people. But we don't have any guns. We said, "No, man, don't be ashamed." So no. Listen to me, bitch. It's not a matter of shame. Iranians are very cultured and educated people. They don't believe in guns. They build car bombs. How many people can you murder with an AR-15? 10, 12, maximum of 20. With a nice car bomb, you can murder 150 people. And that's the first one. When people gather to help, the second one goes off. That's 250 more people. That's a total of 400 people. You're welcome. Hopefully they're all from Saudi Arabia, but if not, I'm sorry. Don't go to Iraq. Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
the good thing about murdering people with a car bomb as opposed to guns is at the end of the night, you won't be treated like a goat by some pedophile-looking old white gentleman on TV telling you, "Well, with every bad guy with a car bomb, we need more good guys with car bombs." It doesn't work like that. Absolutely not. Okay, a joke ended. Andrew was talking about sports fans, and there are a particular kind of sports fans that I have seen as a bartender, and these are people who are. I was a bartender for a long time, and I saw these people who. I am not. This is not being mean to people who have weight problem, but they're like morbidly obese, but they're enthusiastic sports fans, and I didn't know how to make sense. And then I realized, oh, they look like these incels, involuntary celibates who watch porn and jack off to other people having sex. I'm like, that makes sense now. Joke didn't work really well. But one time somebody asked me, "What's the score on baseball?" I said, "Listen, I'm Iranian. I don't know anything about baseball. Sports where I grew up were limited to midget tossing, cockfighting, and car bombs." Okay, thank you so much, you guys. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Oh God, that car bomb line.
Yeah, sure. I understand what you're doing in the machine shop all summer camp. That we had to replace our rider blower about 3 times, and now I know what's happening.
They're gonna shut this camp down, Mark. You let this shit keep going on.
It's definitely the last time we're doing this camp, I think. Not gonna be happening next year. Our next comedian, he was in the performing arts program. Please welcome Shane Kenny.
Thank you. So, did anyone watch the World Hot Dog Eating Contest this weekend?
Yeah. No.
Lucky you. It was so fucking gross. It made me want to never eat again. Like, the sideline reporter had a rain poncho on. The event takes place in the middle of the summer. That poncho is for puke.
Ugh.
Only in America could we turn eating into a sport. There are people starving all over the world. Meanwhile, America has so much food. We're like, let's see who can eat the most of it. I'd love to show footage of the hot dog eating contest to people in Yemen because they won't think sport. They'll think, how much fucking food do you people have? Speaking of dogs, do you know what dogs and war veterans have in common?
What?
They hate the 4th of July. Because on the 4th of July, America loves to blow the sky up with fireworks. Like, if I didn't live in the suburbs, I would think, if I heard fireworks, I would think shootout. If I heard fireworks and I lived in the Middle East, I would think invasion. Like a good American, my brothers and I decided to blow some shit up. Meanwhile, my dog and war vet uncle were hiding under the bed like, what's happening? Because we love veterans and dogs, just not on the 4th of July. So, speaking of Independence Day, now that we've seen cops murder people and beat others for protesting those murders, can we stop saying Happy Independence Day or we're celebrating our freedom? Like, in America, Mark and I are free. Everyone else is fucked whether they're innocent or guilty.
I'm fucked?
Like, that's why America has military bases all over the earth. We are always at war. That's what an empire does. Which is why I'd go to my white neighbors and go, Happy Empire Day. Because it makes them feel guilty. They pause and they realize, my problems aren't really problems, mostly just minor inconveniences, like having fucking leaves on the lawn. So I used to be a semi-pro slam poet before I did comedy. Not a joke. That's real. The only white guys that do slam poetry are school shooters whose families are too liberal to own a gun. Same vague anger, but no gun in hand.
But words.
I think after the March on Washington, Martin Luther King's wife stopped asking how he slept. She'd be like, how'd you sleep, honey? I had a dream. Enough. God, Jesus. So as a comedian, you always think you want to hit it off with your attractive audience members after your show. And I always wanted audience members to see what my room looked like. Because in person, my room looks like that of an edgy artist. Over video chat, it looks like the Unabomber's cabin. Took me 4 minutes, but I got a laugh. I'll take it. Thank you, guys.
I think so. Could you imagine that though? Like going and like serving like and doing like 2 tours in Iraq and then coming home and having to relive that every year, and you're also a dog.
Dog vets matter, dude.
A dog veteran. They got it. That's double whammy, man. That is really bad.
Support the pups, dude. Support the pups.
Support the pup troops. Support the troop pups.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna keep going. I don't even like what I'm saying anymore. I never really do.
Adorable, Mark. What you're saying is fucking adorable.
I'm gonna drink some more absinthe, guys. That's how.
Oh no! Don't do it! Don't do it, Mark. Mark, don't do it. Mark, don't do it. Don't. Oh, come on, Mark. Oh.
Ew.
Please welcome Seth Raven.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I haven't been performing here in a while, so I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am an autistic Jew, 2 for the price of 1. Okay, I'm not like autistic, but when I was like 2 years old, doctors placed me at the bottom of the spectrum, and then after I graduated high school, they took me off the spectrum. But it's been almost 10 years now, and everyone that has been begging for me to make a comeback. Okay, they haven't. Okay, well, even people that are on the spectrum are like, Seth, come back. I mean, granted, they don't look at me when they say it, but they're like, come back. I will say this though. I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention to whatever Mark's been saying. I've just been distracted by that red thing that's been hanging at the top of the cabin behind him. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Yeah, that thing right there. I'll tell you a little about myself also. I'm a Sagittarius. Do we have any other Sagittariuses out there?
Yeah.
All right, cool. The mythical creature for the Sagittarius is the centaur, which is half man, half horse. And I think I'm a lot like a centaur because the top half of my body is human and the bottom half takes bigger dumps than it's supposed to. Last year, I sort of hooked up with a girl, but we didn't really go all the way because she's really into tarot cards, and every single card that she pulled out was it happened that night. You know, she pulled the first card was the moon, and it was nighttime. Next one was the fool because I tell jokes. The third card was the limp penis. I'm just going to change topic. I'm coming across some weird stories during this pandemic. I think the weirdest one is this story in New Jersey. After 10 years of battling with the courts, this brother and sister finally were allowed to marry each other. I think that's weird. I don't know. I mean, it is weird. I mean, I have an older brother, but I would never marry him. I mean, can you imagine if we got divorced? We'd be fighting over the alimony, and we would look really stupid. I've had success I've had success with relationships in the past, but sometimes somebody will say something too far, and it just is too much for me, and I have to end it. Years ago, I dated this one girl, and we went out to dinner one time with her family, and it was during the holidays, so it was snowing like crazy outside. And I'll never forget this. Her father looked out at the window and said, "Man, this weather is so bad, even Paul Walker wouldn't drive through it."
Hey.
And I just remember just looking at my girlfriend being like, "Babe, I'm sorry. I just don't think this is going to work. I think I love your dad now." I used to watch MTV growing up. One of my favorite shows was Scarred. Does anybody remember Scarred?
Yeah.
Okay, for those that don't know, it was basically about these like BMX riders and rollerbladers and skateboarders. They would have these brutal injuries caught on camera, and they'd have like these scars, and they would tell the story about what happened. The reason why I love the show so much is because it's kind of like the millennial version of a war veteran telling his stories about how he got his scars from the war. Like when you go to the VFW, you visit your grandfather, and you would ask him all these different questions. Like why does he have a scar above his eye, or why does he walk limp, or why does he keep staring at my Vietnamese girlfriend? I think before I go, I just want to say, I talk about being a Sagittarius, and I don't really, I don't dwell too much on it. I don't really, focus on it that much. It's just a fun thing every now and then. Also, do we have any Tauruses in this chat room? All right, good. They suck. All right, thank you guys very much.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Seth Raven. I'm a Taurus as well. I didn't get to say it in time. And then he said something very bad about Tauruses. You do always wait if someone asks, like, are there any Catholics or whatever? Don't say anything, and then wait for them to say what they're going to say. Then be like, oh, me, yeah, that was me. Yeah.
I thought I waited long enough, but apparently
I thought he waited long enough too. I'm gonna
I did it on purpose. I just wanted to hear what he had to say. That's my joke.
Big ups to that Scarred reference. That's a good fucking TV show. Who else?
Good show. I'm gonna keep rolling though, guys. People keep entering and leaving, and I'm trying to keep the chat going, or keep the thing going, and keeping people from getting locked out. It's very strange how many people come and go, but I love it. Stick around for Transmitting Comedy. In the meantime, please welcome Melissa Rain.
Hey.
Yay! Thanks, guys. I know what you're thinking. I bet you she likes ice cream. Well, you'd be right. Now your friend owes you $5. Finally. So I do like ice cream. I actually like it a lot. And, a lot of people, they'll feel bad. They'll have a pint of ice cream and feel bad about it. and I just roll up my sleeves because I'm just getting started. Yep. I am thinking about going on a diet though, for about 15 years. Yeah, when I was on a diet, I actually diet. This was original recipe Slim Fast, where I was all chalky and it left that film in your mouth. And that's because the ingredients were malted milk balls and Pepto-Bismol. So that was a weird film. You know, and a lot of people, they would do 2 shakes and a sensible meal with Slim Fast. And for me, I was on the more shakes, the merrier train. So many shakes. You know, but there's a lot of new diets out there right now, but they are just too intense for me. One of them is the keto diet. Keno. Okay, that diet is so strict that they are jealous of vegans.
Oh.
All right. The another one is Weight Watchers. Wheel Watcher. Okay. Pat, Vanna, buying vowels, solving word problems. That's what I like to do. I don't want to add and subtract points. Take your witchy math elsewhere. I don't want to do it. The other one is bulimia. Bulimia. Okay, because I can only do the first half of that diet. Another diet that I think is like too intense is the fasting diet, which, I mean, I know that was Jesus's intent the entire time. He was like, I have to get my girlish figure back. So he went to the desert and didn't eat anything. Now, back in the 80s, that was called anorexia, but today it's called the fasting diet. So what are you going to do? But it worked. Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior, and diet guru. Okay, he was the Richard Simmons of Bethlehem. But it did work. He looked amazing. When he died, he was fit. Okay, not only was he fit, he was CrossFit.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Alicia Rain. Thank you. Thank everybody. Guys, there's a few people that left, so we're going to be doing the Fast Minute and just a few more comics, which is going to be fun. I think I'll probably do a 1 minute round and then probably a 30-second, and people are down for it. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how it's going to go. Our next comedian is Jake Hovis. Please welcome Mr.
Hey.
Jake Hovis. I'm looking for him. There
I'm
he
right here. Yeah, I'm the big guy. So yeah, hey, thanks, y'all. I'm gonna set my timer real quick, so just in case. Welcome to my house. This is in Denver. You know, you don't know this, but right on the other side of that wall is a daycare, and right over there is a funeral home. And when I moved in, I got all existential, like we all live between a daycare and a funeral home. But it's literal for me. It's weird. You know, as a comedian, sometimes I'll make fun of people, but it's over there where they roast them. And it's funny, you know, right next door to the crematorium funeral home is a Papa Murphy's Pizza. I don't know if you guys have those. It's one of those places where they sell raw pizzas, like you take it home and you make it, you take and bake, whatever. And I'm looking at those two places and I'm thinking, only one of them has an oven. Anyway, all right, fun. Let's see here. I've noticed some things. I don't know if you all smoke, but I'm going to talk a lot about cigarettes. So buckle up your blackened lungs for cigarette talk. I don't know, whatever. Everyone seems to smoke the same way, right? They squint a little. They use the two fingers. They try to make something like a really good point when they're done with the cigarette. And that's why we should fire them. Boom. You know, like that's the way they're doing that. when I was a kid, we would go to the butcher and we would get little smokies, like little sausages. You know what I'm talking about? They're like the little guys. And he would just like hand them out as we were children, and just here's a little smoky, you know. And I would bite the end and like use it like a little cigar, because that was cool. All right, fun. You know, I went whale watching with the band Deep Purple. I was nervous. So on the dock, I started to light a cigarette, and they said, not yet. Wait until we get out to sea. It's better to smoke on the water.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a bad one. That's bad. Okay. You know, there's a lot less cigarettes these days. If you didn't notice, I got a prompt that I have to write jokes about cigarettes, which is not really in my wheelhouse, but we'll give it a shot. A lot less cigarettes these days. A lot more vaping. A lot of people vape more often. I'm a high school teacher. I see a lot of the kids, they don't smoke cigarettes, they vape. I wanted to give it a try, but I was kind of afraid I'd get addicted to the nicotine, so I just started sucking on a flash disc. It's got a little bit of a bite, gigabyte. That's down too. That's a bad one. I don't like it either. Okay. Let's see here. Cigarettes have made the world a better place because of ashtrays, right? Where else am I going to put my change? How else can I show my mom that it's Happy Mother's Day without an ashtray that I've made in preschool? And the cigarette lighter in the car, I mean, that's the only way I can blow up an air mattress. That's not even a joke. That's nothing. Okay. I've never wanted to smoke unless it was cold outside. That's when I saw, you know, everybody, whenever you go outside and it's real cold, everybody pretends to smoke. You can see your breath. Like, yeah, it's cool. And it like feels kind of fun to breathe the smoke into your lungs and feel warm from the inside out. And unless you see all of the smokers out there just huddled in just yeah, okay. Tobacco was part of the Columbian Exchange. So when Columbus comes to the New World, tobacco is one of the things they're like, hey, they're going to love this in Europe. I think that's weird. I just, you know, one of the top things, tomatoes, potatoes, tobacco, you know, and what did the Europeans bring? Horses. I think that's a weird one. All right. I am funny, so I'm going to try some real jokes. And here's my cheese. Here's just a cheese joke for you. Mark seems like he'd love this cheese joke, so I'm gonna hit it with him right now. I have I started a dating app for people who love cheese. Yeah, I'm calling it Kraft Singles.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I eat too much cheese, I can get a little tooty. In which case, my wife will call me Jupiter because I'm a gas giant.
Yeah.
And that's a very rare planet and fart joke without talking about Uranus. All right, thanks guys.
Yeah, that's a creative one. I want to point out that I did not give him the prompt about cigarettes. I don't know where.
No, you did not.
I just want to point that out. I don't know where the prompt came from. Our next comedian, he's not on camera. Tristan, can you go up on camera? Then I get point.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Our next comedian, I'm very excited to see his brand new dog tonight. I think he's going to premiere. Please welcome Tristan Smith.
I will not be premiering my dog. For anybody who doesn't know, which is most of the room, I got a dog a couple days ago, and I've made a declaration that white people can't see it. Because this is true. This is actually true. Because I want to show white people what privilege is. So I'll let any person of color see the dog, but I will not let anybody white see it. And,
Tristan, you son of a bitch.
For the last 3 days, I've gotten so many Facebook messages from white people who were horrified and angry that I would do this for them. And this couldn't have worked out better. I feel like a bank in the 60s denying a home loan to like every black person. Like it's like, okay, I do see the fun of racism. Like on some level, I get it. It is fun to toy with your emotions. All right. Anyway, that wasn't even the bit I was planning on talking about. But nonetheless, what was I here to say? A couple years ago, I almost died. I was no, actually, I'm not gonna do that joke. I'm gonna do a different joke. So yeah, don't worry about my I cut my hair recently. I used to have long hair. I had dreadlocks. I had about I grew my hair for a year and a half, and I had dreadlocks. And it's pretty cool. I looked awesome. And I cut my hair a couple days ago. It's and all my bald friends, when I post those pictures on social media, all my bald friends said, "Oh man, you're one of us now. You're welcome to the team. You're part of the bald club." I was like, hold on, like I've never felt so insulted when anyone's ever said something like that to me. I'm not on the bald team. It's a scrimmage at best. All right, like I've chosen to shave my head. I'm not forced into shaving my head. Like, this isn't an exile away from hair. This is just a vacation. All right. I just want all my bald friends to know I'm not one of you. I just felt like empathizing briefly. That didn't work the way that I hoped. I recently realized I'm not afraid of international terrorism as a black man. I don't think that's the thing that scares me. Because whenever that happens, people are always like, they're destroying our way of life. They're killing our way of life. And are they really messing up our way of life? Like, is that the thing that they were doing? Like, did our building fall on September 11th, or was it just a couple people who had hella money? Like, it's not. I never felt like I had a piece of America to be afraid of its terrorism. Like, there's so many things I got to be afraid of before international terrorism. Like, I got to be afraid of domestic terrorism. I got to be afraid of heart disease. I got to be afraid of just like slipping on a curb and falling. Like, there's so many things I'm more afraid of than international terrorism taking me out. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not. It's not a big deal. And again, no one's on my side, but that is everything I've said statistically is true. All those things kill you way faster than international terrorists do. What else I want to talk about? Okay, so here's where it was fucked up about me and my dog is that I keep including white people in the posts about my dog, yet not letting them see her. I said I would I'd let the one white person who I needed to name her, and I was like, I'll let whatever white person comes with the best name, I'll let them see my dog. And then one white person actually won the contest. I let him see, and then he got deactivated off Facebook today. So it just feels like a conspiracy. So I can't even tell anybody what she looks like. That truly, that I have no control over that, but that is incredibly funny that the one person who could betray me, he can't. All right. Yeah, it's Chris Cladis for anybody who's curious in Chicago. That's why I let see my dog.
Yeah.
I think because he's also the blackest white person I know. I think that's why I let him see the dog. Oh, okay. Shit. Oh yeah, 1 minute left. I was not prepared for this set. I'll be honest. So I'm just gonna cede my time out. I'll come back strong in the last minute.
Yeah.
In the last minute of the whole thing.
So what was the name?
I can see the dog then. This is
What
awesome.
you can see that. What was the name Chris came up with that one?
Oh, he didn't win the competition. I just liked him more. So I rigged the contest. It turns out. Yeah. Honestly, James Webb
You're being really white here, Tristan. You're really suppressing people. You're rigging the system.
Rigging the system. Whoa.
The
I
table.
love how Patty Mansbach is touching her heart.
Oh no, I'm just cold.
Look at
I don't have a heart.
That's white privilege right there. Hell yeah.
There we go.
I thought you're like clutching imaginary pearls. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
my pearls. Yeah, that they sell in New Jersey.
All right, guys, we're gonna do the fastest minute in comedy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Drink. Now he's got it.
I'm gonna read your name, and then I'm just gonna. You get a minute. And I'm not gonna let you or anything. I'm just gonna move on to the next person. So.
We're not doing 2 rounds of this thing, right?
I don't know. We can do whatever the fuck we want, can't we? I don't know. We can do 2 rounds.
You were the one who said you're tired, so whatever you want to do.
I'm not tired. I am drinking absinthe, so I am waking up. The absinthe fairy, is that the thing? Like, you start seeing fairies, you hallucinate when you drink absinthe? Is that just when it's like really old, spoiled absinthe that's been oxidized? Because that's what I'm drinking.
Oxidation fairies. Hell
We're gonna start this out. Where is our first comic? It's always like a treat that people just leave like right when I start this, but they didn't. Oh, please welcome Andrew Shanklin. Go, 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 go,
Hey.
Go.
I've got a type of gal I like. It's not what a lot of people have. It's women that look like they have cold, bony hands. like when they touch you, you get a little shiver, but not in like a sexy way. Like they're transferring an evil spirit to your body way. That's why they always want to hold hands. They're trying to put a curse on you. All right, that's it. That's the whole joke.
Oh, okay. Oh man, I was thinking about my first crush the other day. I loved it was in second grade and his name was Andy. Oh, I loved him so much. I would write in my diary about him and how I just wanted to be with him so much, and he never loved me back. It was brutal, man. Anyway, it doesn't even matter because he's dead now, so it all worked out in the end. Oh yeah, maybe he had a congenital heart defect, or maybe if I can't have him, nobody else can. Just think about that. Oh man, I make him as not much of a surprise, but in my free time, I read a lot about serial killers. Yeah, a lot of people on the internet think Jeffrey Dahmer was hot. I don't know. I'm not into blondes. I feel like his Aryan-ness would burn my skin off. So personally, I'm a Bundy bitch. All right, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Go.
Hey guys, nothing funny here. Just wanted to throw in some topical trivia. So you guys probably know that the tea that they spilled in the Boston Harbor for the Boston Tea Party came from India. The bombs bursting in the air in our national anthem, I guess those bombs, the design came from India. And the ship in which Francis Scott Key was imprisoned, it's called HMS Minden, that was built in India. Some random topical trivia there. That's it. No fun.
Yeah.
Go.
I work in radio, and so many times in radio, people tell me, "Oh, radio's so fake. It sounds so fake. No one sounds sincere." And some of that's absolutely true but I meet people in radio who are behind the microphone, and they have these big, bold voices with high compression and all these different things, and they sound really cool. But then you just want to hear them be real for a moment when they're like going into music. I want to hear the classic rock DJ that's all like, hey, coming up, we got a big block of 45 minutes commercial-free rock block. We got Tool. We got AC/DC. We got Breaking Benjamin, and we have Aerosmith, and I haven't talked to my daughter in 9 years. I just want to hear someone be real for a minute. That's all I'm asking for. Go!
Yeah,
Go.
Coffee.
Hi, the news is very negative. They never report on anything positive that happens. Like the other day, the ISIS spokesperson announced that all operations targeting the United States citizens are suspended indefinitely, as killing Americans has been outsourced to Donald Trump. That was my 1 minute joke.
I myself did just quit smoking, and it was actually very hard because I smoked for so long that my cigarette habit could rent its own car, and it had its own credit card and everything. So it's kind of weird. Yeah, smoking is weird because I never really liked the warning label because it's redundant. Like, we know you are bad for us. You're like a bad boyfriend who's like, I'm no good for you, baby. I know. I'm aware you have 8 credit cards and no job. Like, you aren't great for me. You're a man with a tramp stamp. Okay, I don't know what those Chinese letters mean. Neither do you. That's a bad sign. You say you personally know all the members of Nickelback. You are screaming bad news. Bad news.
Thank you, Alicia. That was 1 minute. Get on down, Jake Hovis. Go.
Cigarette jokes. No, I'm joking. So I was out with a friend of mine, and he looked over and said, "Hey, that girl's a dime," and I didn't know what that meant, but I know FDR is on the dime, so maybe she has polio. It means like 10 out of 10, that apparently I figured that out later. I asked my wife if I'm a dime, and she says, you'd probably be changed for a nickel. And I said, all right, well, in that case, you're a penny because you cost more than you're worth. All right. Thanks, guys.
Go. White people feel so safe. They listen to true crime podcasts. Like, you know how sheltered you got to be to cosplay as a victim? Like, I listen to true crime podcasts to see how my friends are doing. If you're racist, you assume that my friends are the criminals. If you're woke, you think my friends are the victims. But in reality, my friends are the podcast producers. That's it for me.
Yeah. Go. Pratik's going to do a minute. Go.
Go.
I have this idea for a sandwich. It's called the Racial Progress Sandwich, you guys. It's just one slice of white bread, one slice of brown wheat, nothing else in between the sandwich. You might be saying, hey, Zeke, that sandwich, it's a little dry, a little tough for some people to swallow.
Oh, no.
Oh! This is my lord.
All right, we're gonna do 30-second round. You want to go, Andrew? You want to do it? Andrew, shaking 30 seconds. Go.
Oh yeah, I found out that part of the man's reproductive system that moves the cum to the penis is called the vas deferens, which is Latin for big difference. Because boy, is there a big difference between piss and cum. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
It's very dumb.
Oh man, my dad has convinced us that the restaurant Chipotle is pronounced Chiptoli, and there's no telling him otherwise. Yeah, he said, "Oh, it's the Mandela effect," and I said, "No, Dad, I think you're just wrong."
Please welcome Yash Pranani.
Hey guys.
Go.
Columbus was trying to get to India for its spices and got lost. And when I go to Indian grocery stores, I do run into white people looking for spices and they seem to be lost. That's it.
Go.
Oh my God. I live in a family where I know I'm the black sheep. I'm not just the black sheep. It's a joke to the point where my nephews and nieces now know that I'm the black sheep. Like children now know that I'm a loser. My nephew asked me at the 4th of July holiday party, do I have a real job? He's 8. All right. He can't ride a bike, but he's telling me you need to buy a car and get your shit together.
Yeah. Thank you, Yashar Coffee.
Hey, nowadays there are these guys that they're out of shape, unattractive, and they're struggling financially. So they call themselves feminists.
Go.
Thank you, Alicia Rain.
Hey, this is my impression of Joan of Arc. Okay, Joan of Arc. Bonjour. Frickin' nailed it.
Nice.
Go. Hey, I'm a high school teacher, and earlier this semester on the way to school, I killed a bunny. I know. The one day I walk. There you go.
Go.
Somebody was talking about Christopher Columbus earlier. I think every white person that doesn't season their food is a real slap in the face to Christopher Columbus, and also all their forefathers. Because most white people in history have died for one of two reasons: either religion or spices. And I think, how could you do that? That's all there's nothing more to the joke. Thank you.
Yo.
Who's gonna go?
Every Thanksgiving, my family does this thing where we get a frozen turkey from the grocery store, and then we stuff it full of traditional Indian spices like the colonists wanted to do but couldn't do it because they're bad at geography. And we call that shit reverse gentrification Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Reverse Thanksgiving, the blankets make you stronger. Bye-bye.
Sorry, I cut the camera during his punchline, but we still heard it this time. Last time we didn't hear your punchline, Pratik. It froze up.
Oh wait, on
whatever joke you were drinking the water bottle on.
You're drinking the water bottle.
Sandwich one.
It froze. And
I
you
heard laughs, so I was like, that did better than I thought. And you guys were laughing at the delay.
It was laughs from the freezing. Hey guys, thanks for coming out tonight. We do this every Sunday. See you all next week.